Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. For the 2017 season, crews will be focusing on 5 neighborhoods in need of sidewalk replacements. While the month of January brought a mixed array of weather to Southwest Saskatchewan, with cold temperatures and wind chill values for the first 12 days, then a reprieve with melting conditions and a milder airflow. Swift Current City Council often welcomes local organizations to declare proclamations for various causes throughout the year, a trend which Mayor Dennis Perot is proud of. Thanks for joining us here today. The City of Swift Current is once again planning to repair sidewalks around the community. And in this report, we take a closer look at what areas it'll be focusing on for 2017. Each year, the City of Swift Current is faced with the task of addressing issues with aging sidewalks. And for the 2017 season, crews will be focusing on 5 neighborhoods in need of sidewalk replacements, a project which will span approximately 1.5 kilometers at a total cost of over $275,000.
Costs went up about 5% last year, so we're estimating concrete costs to go up about the same this year. For the residential area, frontages are funded 50% by ourselves and 50% by the local property owner. So those projects must be approved by the Saskatchewan Municipal Board before we can go forth, and then the property owners have the opportunity to petition against those works being completed once they're approved.
Minkin adds that in some neighborhoods in Swift Current, the issue of repairing sidewalks is now a thing of the past.
We have a few out in the Sask Valley subdivision where we tried that option of not having a sidewalk on one side of the street like you see in a lot of areas. And so a sidewalk on one side of the street and not on the other. So just an opportunity to see whether or not that works for folks. Of course, reduces the cost of the infrastructure there and reduces it down the road because it doesn't have to be replaced. So it kind of depends on the design of the street and the plan for that to see whether that is valid for that area or not.
The City of Swift Current has approximately 185 kilometers of concrete sidewalk, many of which were constructed in the mid-1950s through the 1970s, with an average lifespan of 40 to 50 years. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. Well, the Canadian groundhogs have seen their shadows. And in this report, we take a closer look at the long-term forecast for Southwest Saskatchewan. While the month of January brought a mixed array of weather to Southwest Saskatchewan, with cold temperatures and wind chill values for the first 12 days, then a reprieve with melting conditions and a milder airflow. Now, as we make our way into February in the hopes of the early arrival of spring, Environment Canada is offering this outlook for the coming weeks.
So February is going to be, it looks like it's going to begin on a cool note, but not as cool as we saw at the beginning of January. And typically February is about 3 degrees warmer than January. So typically January is the coldest month, although it doesn't necessarily always follow that. But it may very well be a break. We're also seeing days are increasing in terms of the daylight by about 3 minutes and 20 seconds right now, and that's very positive. The days are getting longer, the sun a little higher in the sky. You're actually beginning to feel that warmth when you go out in February. Now, we think spring will be again, it's a little bit uncertain. We're seeing a lot of cool air in the western, like in British Columbia and in the Arctic. But what we're showing for Saskatchewan is kind of near normal temperatures. So my sense is that it may not be as early a spring this year as last year because, hey, there was hardly any winter.
And with snowfall amounts falling short to this point in the season across the Southwest, Phillips says precipitation is the hardest to forecast for the long term.
Because we're seeing over western, southwestern Saskatchewan, really down by the border, it's not so bad, but along the Trans-Canada, out west between Regina and Calgary, for example, we're seeing precipitation totals for the last 3 months have been only about half of what you normally would get. So I think maybe growers are wishing for a little bit more precipitation. Certainly nothing to cause a flood issue because you don't want to you want to be able to get on your fields and not have dealing with saturated soils. But a little bit more moisture would be a good thing.
The normal high for this time of the year in the Swift Current area is -7, with an overnight low of -17. Market Square is a summer tradition in downtown Swift Current. And organizers are now searching for entertainers, food vendors, and artisans to be part of the excitement for the upcoming season. Contact Marlene today at 750-7888 and spend your Saturdays in downtown Swift Current this summer. Market Square, proudly presented by the City of Swift Current, Standard Motors, Innovation Credit Union, and Southwest TV News. Swift Current City Council continues to promote an open-door policy. We have more in this report. Swift Current City Council often welcomes local organizations to declare proclamations for various causes throughout the year. And over the past several months, more sports groups and youth, such as the Swift Current Comprehensive High School Business Club, have all been in attendance to discuss their various organizations. A trend which Mayor Dennis Perot is proud of.
I think a big part of our community is volunteerism. And a lot of the people that we've invited have been coaches. And tonight we had some advisors for the Swift Current Comp Business Club. And I think it's important to celebrate those. I think it's a part that makes our community truly great. And it's why it makes sense to live here in Swift Current. So yes, I hope to reach out to more community groups, more advocates and more volunteers to hopefully celebrate all the successes that they've been able to do.
A move which further sets the tone of welcomeness and transparency between City Hall and the community in general.
Well, we're trying. I really believe communication, having open dialogue is important. It's something I believe everybody campaigned on, myself included, and I want to keep that. I want to be able to have that door open that anytime if a member of our youth or a member of our community or business professional wants to come in and sit and talk, I hope that I'm here to do that, and I know all of our council feels the same way.
The next Swift Current City Council meeting is scheduled for February the 13th, when the 2017 municipal budget will be unveiled.
I've never had this kind of thing before. To have so many people, especially ones with cameras and microphones, it is absolutely wonderful.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.